So if you are younger than 18 and you click this video, I want to give you some lessons on life. And I'm 21, like I'm not an old man, but the years from 18 to 21 matter, trust me. And I thought I could sort of dilute a couple of those years into you with some actionable advice. So the first thing is to watch out like religiously for social media and distractions. It's definitely, in my opinion, maybe the biggest struggle that people our age are being like faced with, and a lot of time is being wasted on these things. And sometimes you think it's productive, sometimes you think you're learning so much, but you look at your life and your life hasn't changed. So has it really helped you? Watch out for it. It creeps up on you, a little bit, like a few hours every day, and then here and there, and then you look back and just a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, maybe more, and it was just so much time that was wasted. Now, obviously, I'm not telling you to not have fun. Please do, please do have fun. I recommend it. But learn to distinguish between actually having fun and purposefully, like, or willingly enjoying what you're doing just for fun, and then convincing yourself you're having fun when you're really just numbing yourself with hedonism, and social media can definitely do that. So be religious about it. Watch out constantly about the things that sort of draw you in, that are not going to improve your life and most likely going to derail you. And just learn to get them out. You're always going to have that little muscle telling you to do certain things and not do other things. And, well, wait, do this, distract yourself. This looks so good. And it's never going away. So it's something that you need to constantly adapt with. And, well, in a way, just accept that it's going to be there. And instead of just trying to convince yourself that that muscle isn't good, that thing isn't going to be there, the temptations, you just have to develop the muscle of not listening to them. And if you do that, then it doesn't matter if the temptation is there or not, because the outcome is the same and you don't listen to it. So that's the first thing that I advise you to do. The second thing, and this is so important, is that you have more time than you think, subjectively, in my opinion, but less time than you think objectively. And what I mean by this is, we don't have, like, it takes a long time to build something, unless you're like crazy maniacal, it takes a very long time to create things that are big. And even if you're maniacal, it takes a long time. And if you're watching this video, you're not the type of person. So you have more time than you think, in the sense that you can do a lot in like, I don't know, like just a couple months. You can change your life completely, sometimes even less, depending on where you are and what you do. So you have more time than you think, in that sense, in the sense that if you actually use your time appropriately, you're deliberate with it, and you have a certain direction that you want to align your actions and behaviors with, so that you end up getting to that, and then go in the direction. You have more time than you think. Like, you can relax and just keep at it, right? Like, do it, just not worry too much, because if you're doing it, you're going to get there. But you do have less time than you think if you're just wasting it. And you tell yourself, like, tomorrow I'm going to do it, but then it comes around and nothing changes, because you're expecting your environment to change before your actions do. And oftentimes, most times, our environment changes from our actions first. So we choose to do something, and from choosing to do something, our environment changes completely and you get what you want. But it's not by waiting for the environment to change that you then get what you want. So yeah, that's the first thing. If you're doing things, like, recap, if you're doing things properly, you're like putting in effort, you're using your time appropriately, you have a lot of time to make things work. But if you're wasting your time, and only you know what this means, wasting or not wasting, and deep down you do know, okay? I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to lecture you on what that means for you. So on the other side, if you do waste time, then you don't have that much time. You don't. Like, you need to just stop, because you're not going to change. You're going to keep wanting to seek these distractions, and it's only going to get worse because you're training yourself to seek these distractions. So yeah, be mindful for that. And the last thing I want to tell you is to learn to prioritize. And this kind of relates with time, but you've probably been told that, like, oh, you can have everything, you can have this, and you can't. You can't have everything. We have 24 hours in a day. A lot of people seem to just forget that. Like, if you sleep, I don't know, like 9 hours, and then I'm just gonna throw shit out there. Let's go with like the ideals. You meditate for like an hour, you sleep for 9 hours, you work out for an hour on weights, and then 1 hour on cardio. You go for a walk also. Oh, and you also read books, and then you have a full-time job. And if I got a full-time job, you're making a business. And oh, of course, we can't forget socializing, like with friends. And also, you gotta, not gotta, but could be good to have romantic partners. You gotta do that as well. Oh, and of course, like, this is all productive, so learn to have some fun. Like, there's literally not enough hours. This isn't a matter for discussion on like subjectivity. It's like, there's 24 hours in a day. If there aren't enough hours to do those things, then you can't have everything. It's that simple. It's like, yeah, you could say, oh, I'm going to do just a little bit on everything. It's like, yeah, then you get great at nothing. You're going to just dedicate a little bit to friendships, just a little bit to romantic relationships, just a little bit to physique. And then you get no results, almost. Miserable results, mediocre results. You lose motivation and you do nothing. So you're going to need to learn to prioritize and learn that sacrifices are natural, that sometimes it doesn't feel like you're making sacrifices, but you make them every single day. You make trades every day. When you're, I don't know, when you go out with your friends, and if you have some drinks or something, whatever. All I know, in the US, I think it's 21, so it's not, but in Europe it's 18, at least where I am. You're sacrificing your health partly with alcohol to have some fun. And that's, for example, that was and is a trade that I'm willing to do for like a night every now and then. But just be willing, like, I'm at that moment, for example, I'm prioritizing building memories with my friends that I'm going to remember, rather than a little bit of maybe some health downsides from the alcohol in that night. That's a trade. I'm prioritizing, and you're going to need to learn to make those trades and think and prioritize, and not only in something as small as what I said as the example of the drink and whatnot, although that can be very big, but in just everything, relationships, careers. And the earlier you learn to prioritize and to think deeply about your situation and about what you want, what goals you have, the better it's going to be, because you're going to waste less time and you're going to get to that ideal destination faster, and in my opinion, more smoothly. So yeah, those are some tips from an old 21-year-old man. All right, so thanks for watching. Bye bye.